What's up, Epic 7? I've had several people come to me saying, hey, is this legendary inheritance season epic pass, is it worth getting? Is it really worth the Skystones? Well, the answer to that question is, it depends. It depends on your level of play, how many Skystones you have, and what the needs are for your account. I'll try to break it down for you and explain it. First, there's a lot of new players joining Epic 7. And, a lot of these rewards can seem a little confusing, right? What do you spend Skystones on? What do you keep? This is one that I think is worth the 900 Skystones to get the premium rewards, right? These premium rewards are loaded with equipment charms, blue boxes to be able to select equipment, reforged mats to be able to upgrade your equipment, reforged mat selector boxes to make specifically upgrading equipment that you have easier, more charms, more reforged mats, more blue boxes, more reforged mat chests, a lot of stuff to help you get your gear up to the next level. It is easily more than 900 Skystones worth of value. There's also at the very end modification chests, and what modification chests let you do is they let you take an unwanted stat on your piece of gear and replace it with any other stat. So like say you got a piece of gear, it's got 2 speed on it, you can replace it with say 8 attack or 8 effectiveness. You could take that 2 speed and replace it with 4 speed. Now be careful, the more rolls you have into a stat, the less value these have because they start to lose their impact the more rolls into a piece. If you got a stat that's already got 3 or more rolls into that stat, really ask somebody who knows better before you go and modify it. It's really easy to brick a otherwise nice piece of gear by modifying a stat that's already got 3 rolls into it. So yeah, 900 Skystones, this is great for a new player if you have the Skystones to spend. Definitely don't whip out your wallet to get the Skystones to buy this. This event's going on for another 24 days, 23 days. You got plenty of time to earn the Skystones to pick this up. I do recommend it for all levels of play. But the big question really is the 1600 Skystone legendary inheritance reward, the big one, right? When you click on the Epic Pass upgrade button, you're going to see either this or you're going to see 924 or 2500, right? And that's because the 2500 is a bundle. It's the 900 and the 16. If you buy the 900 already, the 2500 becomes just the 1600. You can't buy this one without getting the first one. So that's why yours might look higher than mine currently does, because I've already taken the 900 Skystones out of this by buying the first bundle. Now, is this worth it? For very, very early game players, they need a lot of gear. And this has 6 level 88 pieces of gear. Selectable gear too. And by selectable gear, I mean you can choose the set and you can choose the piece of gear, right? If you want a destruction neck, you can select that. If you want speed boots, you can select that. If you want immunity armor, you can select that. But what you can't select is the stats, right? If you select speed boots, the main stat could be HP, it could be flat HP, it could be speed or attack. If you pick that destruction neck, you could get flat HP main stat and have it be worthless, or you could get attack, crit chance, or crit damage main stat and have it be potentially good. But that doesn't mean the substats will be good. The substats might be some combination of all effectiveness, defense, and HP. There's RNG to it. It's randomness. And I'll tell you what, for new players, any 88 gear is better than no 88 gear. So it does have some high value, except right now, as a part of this anniversary Foundation Day event, new players are getting so much new gear that I just cannot in good conscience recommend spending 1600 Skystones, which are one of the more important currencies coming up, on a chance for good gear. And new players are not going to really have any gear at all to use these mana selection reset gems on. So I would discourage new players from picking this up. I would save those 1600 Skystones and use them to progress in the event, to pull units to farm, to do all of the other things that you can use Skystones on. Now for very late end game players, people who've been around for many, many years, you probably already have really, really good gear. And the chances of these 6 pieces of gear becoming better than what you've got actually improving your account are pretty slim. And the mana selection chests, you probably already have a good stock of them or have already reset your most troublesome pieces already. So these have a much lower value for the end game player as well, even less value than they have for the new game player. So I would recommend against it. It seems like a waste of 1,600 Skystones, and at the end game, earning Skystones is even slower than at the early game. I would recommend against getting this unless you have an immediate need for these selection chests or these mana stone selections, or you really enjoy the gamble of the 88 gear and are hoping that this is your first 25 speed piece, right? I don't think they have good value for end game players. Now, who would get good value out of this potentially is mid to late game players, people right in the middle, right? Because the people right in the middle, they've just gotten their hunt teams, their auto hunt teams established, maybe even their one-shot teams established, and they're just starting to get gear, but they don't have a ton of super high-end gear yet. They've been farming for a few months, maybe even a year, but they haven't really gotten a chance to lay down a large pool of high-end gear, and this is a very solid chance to get specific pieces of gear to fix units they need at some of the highest level, and gems to re-roll them in case that gear rolls badly. So I think at the mid to late game progression point, this could easily be worth 1,600 Skystones to you. But I tell you what, the people who are at that mid to late game progression point, they've been playing long enough to know. They've been playing long enough to know, would these reset stones be of value to my account? Is more 88 gear of really high value to my account or not? So I guess the TLDR on all this is, if you don't know whether or not this is worth 1,600 Skystones, then it's not. You don't get this if you don't know it's worth it to you. If you know it's worth it to you, then you get it. If you know your account needs it, you get it. If you don't know your account needs it, then your account doesn't need it. Most likely doesn't need it. If you don't know your account needs this, then you've not been playing long enough to get the value of this, or you've been playing long enough that really you should just know better. So yeah, that's my take on the Epic Pass. Get the 900 Skystone one. That is totally worth, but the 1,600 Skystone, I think that's a mid to late game player pack, and something that early or late game players are going to not be so terribly interested in. I hope this helps you out. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your day, Epic 7.